My people, what's up? So today we're gonna be installing a backsplash with tile, and I've never done it before, so we're gonna see how that goes, and I'm gonna walk you through all the steps that I'm gonna do. Of course, I'm gonna leave out the bad parts and the stomps because y'all don't want to see that. We're gonna get straight to business. Everything's gonna be fast forwarded and voiced over, so you don't be here forever. And we're not gonna have all that silly music playing, because I don't have any songs like that. But I can do one for y'all right here. I'm about to measure. I'm about to get these measurements up for the square footage, so we can get however many towel pieces that we need, and I'm gonna do the music myself. Here we go. Okay. You're welcome. All right, let's go to the stove. Yep, gotta get that tile adhesive. That's what we're gonna be using. Get a sponge, spacers. Yeah, we need some grout. Make sure y'all get the right color or whatever color you need. Yeah, we need one of those. Do it slow, but you ain't got to get that expensive one. Get that one hang. Yo, so we got 16 square feet to cover. Right now, this whole 30 piece is 9.5 square feet. We're gonna get 2 of them things. That's gonna give us about 19 square feet, so we should be good. So boom, we put the adhesive on, get that trout work going on in there. Looking decent. Luckily I had somebody to help me out with these lines. Now let's get them going. So we get some spacers, put them in there. I got the pennies on the bottom because that's where we want to put the grout. We have to have some space to put our grout in between the tile. And yeah, we got to make sure it's level because the house that I'm working on is old. So everything's not going to be level. The counter might not be level to the wall. So you got a leveler, it ain't going to lie to you. And that was that. Let's get to cutting. So we started off with that, but later on in the video, I'm going to tell you how that went. So here's our cutout piece. And the first cut went pretty well. Have no complaints. And we kept it moving. It fit right on in there. We got the pennies spacing this thing out. You see the tiny gray T-spacers? We got there, and right there, I'm just looking to the side, checking and see if it's, level and smoothly pasted on there, Right here, I'm showing y'all how I put those spacers in. Those gray T-spacers. As you can see right here. Yep. We're just putting them on there. That way you can get a perfect space with every tile you put down. And that's that. Space them up, lay them down. Or lay them down, space them up. And when you lay the tile, you're going to get that adhesive pushing out the cracks. And you don't need that. So what you do is take your little razor, scrape that out, because you're gonna want that grout in these spacers instead of the adhesive. You don't want that mixing. Right here, we got the final piece. So sometimes you're gonna have to customize something to make it fit. And this is all this was right here. Had to eyeball it, push it down, and basically leave it alone. Now we're about to do the grout. We got the grout, got the right color, we got a white color. So grout is kind of like a sandy texture. We're gonna take our float and we're gonna put it on in there. It's not the cleanest thing you can do, but right here I'm just making it do what it do right here. And something's gonna fall on your mat or whatever, you can pick that back up and use it again. Right now we taking that line, that's the satisfying part. Hey, so it's the day after I put on the grout, and we're just gonna check and wipe off any residue that it may have. Hit it with here. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna talk to you about a few problems that I ran into during this project. So one problem was I tried to go cheap with a little wireless circular saw, mini circular saw. It didn't cut through the tiles really well, so it'll be best to actually rent a circular saw to cut those tiles and get those right cuts in, so you can, place them nice and neatly and clean cut. Another problem, you're gonna have to be patient. Once you put the grout on, your lines are not gonna be perfect. Make sure, that's what I'm doing today, but make sure to get you a sponge. Again, you're gonna have to do this like 3 or 4 times. Get you a sponge, wet it, get that grout right. The last problem that I had was the outlets. So your outlet covers are not gonna cover like they used to cover when there was no tile there. So simple fix, you can go on Amazon or whatever, it'll be $5. You can get bracket spacers. So what that does is spaces out your brackets a little bit. It makes them push out a little bit further, so you can get your outlet closer to the cover. And that was it. This project cost me $250 and some elbow grease. Thank y'all for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe. You can do it yourself. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.